Subaru has always been the go-to brand for people who want adventure without giving up comfort. But the 2026 Subaru Outback just changed the game because this isn't just a facelift. We're talking more horsepower under the hood, a redesigned interior that feels closer to luxury SUVs, and tech upgrades you usually don't see at this price point. But here's the real twist. With all these changes, is the new Outback finally the best value in its class, or has Subaru pushed it too far? Let's find out. The Subaru Outback has been a household name for decades, especially in the US, where it's carved out a reputation as the do-everything family wagon that's just as comfortable on a mountain trail as it is in a Costco parking lot. What makes the Outback stand out is that sweet spot it hits between rugged utility and everyday comfort, something that's earned Subaru one of the most loyal followings in the industry. Now, the 2026 model is here, and Subaru isn't treating this like a minor update. This is a statement release. They're promising stronger performance, a more refined interior, and features designed to compete not only with other crossovers but even with midsize SUVs that traditionally sit a level above the Outback's price range. That raises some big questions. Is this still the Outback that buyers love for its practicality and go-anywhere personality? Or has Subaru nudged it towards something entirely new, something that might attract a different kind of driver? In just a moment, we'll dive into the design, the comfort upgrades, the tech, and yes, the numbers under the hood. But before we get there, it's worth looking at how Subaru is positioning this car and why this launch could shift how people see the Outback in 2026. Alright, let's break this down piece by piece, because the 2026 Subaru Outback is packed with changes you'll actually notice the moment you see it or sit behind the wheel. First off, the exterior. Subaru didn't reinvent the shape, we still get that rugged wagon meets SUV profile that fans love, but the details are sharper. The headlights are slimmer and more aggressive, the grille is wider, and the cladding feels less bulky than before. It looks leaner, more athletic, almost like Subaru wanted it to appear ready for the trail and the valet stand. You're not mistaking this for a luxury SUV, but it definitely looks more premium than past generations. Slide inside and the real transformation starts. The cabin has always been practical, but now it feels genuinely upscale. Softer touch materials on the dash, a larger center display that's crisp and intuitive, and seats with noticeably better bolstering. For families, that means long trips won't leave you sore. For commuters, it means you finally get that quiet, comfortable ride without giving up the Outback's rugged character. And let's not skip the backseat. Legroom is generous, and Subaru clearly thought about storage, cup holders, and charging ports in all the right spots. Now, the heart of the matter, performance. Subaru has tuned the Outback's standard engine for a little extra punch, but the real buzz is around the available turbocharged option. It's smoother, more responsive, and paired with Subaru's legendary all-wheel drive, it's built for everything from snowy mountain passes to a quick highway merge. Fuel economy hasn't been sacrificed either. Early numbers suggest a balance that keeps it competitive with rivals like the Toyota RAV4 and Honda CR-V. Tech lovers will notice the upgrades too. Subaru's EyeSight safety suite is smarter this year, with wider camera coverage and smoother lane centering. There's also a new hands-free driving assist feature for certain highway conditions, something that pushes the Outback closer to what we're seeing in higher-end SUVs. And yes, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are still here, now wireless, with improved connectivity that doesn't glitch out like older models sometimes did. But here's the interesting part. With all these changes, Subaru is walking a fine line. The upgrades make it feel more refined, but they also nudge it toward the territory of pricier SUVs. The question is, does that price hike land in a sweet spot, or will it turn some loyal Outback buyers away? We'll get into that soon. Before we hit pricing, though, keep this in mind. Subaru has managed to make the 2026 Outback look sharper, drive stronger, and feel more comfortable without completely losing the adventurous DNA that built its reputation. But is that enough to keep it at the top of the pack in a brutally competitive crossover market? The next section might surprise you. And this is where the 2026 Subaru Outback really shows its hand. Numbers and features are one thing, but it's the real-world driving that makes or breaks a car, and Subaru knows it. On the road, the first thing you notice is the refinement. The suspension soaks up bumps with a confidence older Outbacks never had. It doesn't feel floaty or disconnected, either. You get that planted, stable feel that makes long drives less tiring and winding roads a little more fun. Then you tap the accelerator on the turbo model, and here's the surprise. It actually delivers. Passing on the highway is smooth and effortless, and the engine doesn't sound strained the way it used to. For a vehicle known more for utility than thrill, this is a noticeable shift. Off the pavement, Subaru hasn't forgotten its roots. We took it onto a gravel track, and the all-wheel drive system clung to the surface like it was born for it. The ground clearance and hill descent assist add confidence that most crossovers just can't match. And that's the twist. Subaru managed to make the Outback feel both more premium and more capable at the same time. But here's the catch. While the improvements are impressive, they raise expectations. At this price point, buyers will naturally compare it against SUVs that offer more power, bigger cabins, or flashier tech. The Outback no longer competes just with crossovers, it's edging into a tougher battlefield. So, has Subaru truly created the perfect balance of comfort, capability, and value, or has the Outback stepped into territory where it might get outshined? That's the real question, and the answer comes down to what kind of driver you are. Let's break it down. So, what's the final verdict on the 2026 Subaru Outback? Honestly, it feels like Subaru has leveled up without losing its soul. The extra power makes daily driving smoother and safer. The upgraded interior finally gives you comfort that rivals more expensive midsize SUVs, and the off-road capability? Still one of the best in the class. That blend of rugged confidence and everyday usability remains the Outback's superpower. Of course, it's not flawless. The turbo engine brings the excitement, but the base engine can still feel underwhelming if you're used to quick acceleration. The added tech is fantastic, but it nudges the price higher, and that means shoppers will naturally start comparing it to larger, flashier competitors. If budget is tight, some trims might feel like a stretch. So, who is this car really for? If you're the kind of driver who wants one vehicle that can commute during the week, road trip in comfort, and handle a dirt trail on the weekend, the Outback is still in a league of its own. Families who need space, safety, and reliability will find a lot to love. Adventure seekers who don't want to sacrifice comfort are going to see real value here. But if you're chasing pure speed or luxury status, you'll probably look elsewhere. In today's US market, where crossovers are everywhere, the 2026 Outback proves that a car can evolve, modernize, and still keep its identity intact. It's not just a refresh, it's Subaru planting a flag and saying, "This is what we stand for." So here's the big question for you. Has Subaru nailed the balance this time, or do you think they've strayed too far into SUV territory? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear if you'd pick the Outback over rivals like the RAV4, CR-V, or even midsize SUVs. If you found this review helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.